Good day, and welcome to the Budding Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Bridges. In each of these episodes, I cover my experiences, both good and bad, of being a business owner on my own, as well as my journey through the crazy world of entrepreneurship to reach my goal of earning $1 million a year. Now, it's been a while since I came at this. Back in the middle of May, I found myself swamped with extra work to get done, and it was taking me away from this podcast. On top of that, there were some changes that were happening that were leading me away from being able to do the podcast on a regular basis. So today I want to let you know I am relaunching the Budding Entrepreneur as a 2.0 release. This is going to be a new way of going about this podcast. We're still going to stick to the basic things, but I want to focus in new ways. I want to bring new people in and get their concepts on things. There's a lot that's happened to me since May, and it's now October. So that's a good almost 6 months that I've actually taken off. But I want this re-release to be something that's going to be exciting for everybody. Give you a little bit of a view of how this is going to work moving forward. We're going to be going to twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. And today is just a special one because it's Sunday and I wanted to release this. But we're going to follow the same basic focus. We still want to get ourselves to $1 million a year. But we want to bring in these new topics, things that I've been exposed to that back in May I was not able to really take advantage of. At the same time, I want to look at and talk about how the business itself has changed over this nearly 6-month period. It was originally geared to being one consulting firm that tried to do everything, and now it's completely different. I have actually 3 separate entities, each working in very different ways. L5 Consulting is still available, still working, still doing its thing, but it's now that pure play technology, not the managed services that everybody else is doing. This is actually the technology management side of things. I still have L5 Cloud, which is still doing its hosting and environment. We're bringing in a more diverse focus on cloud, so a lot of the experience that we've gained recently is dealing with Google and Amazon and a lot of the different things that have changed, that gives us a new focus on how cloud works. The one thing that I did with the actual program that I had developed was to create a self-branded consulting company, Randy Bridges Consulting. That particular one is focusing on business development at anywhere from the very beginning ideas of someone who's just tired of working for the man and decides that they want to go out on their own and they just need some help. We're going to scale all the way up to well-established businesses. There are going to be different programs in here, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But for right now, I just want to explain that all of this is now getting broader. We're going to be doing more with the budding entrepreneur, less of the concept of let's go and try new things, let's do different aspects and get back to the basics of what a podcast is really about. Yeah, you might want to hear about the ideas of all the things that I've tried and how I still keep the James Friel dream alive, that I was going to follow his plan from the 30 days and launch that. But in looking at that one and also the Dana Derrick's, I really got involved in his Dream 100 concept, which was something that was taking me in new directions and making me rethink this process of what being a business owner is as opposed to being a business builder. And I want to focus on that business builder concept, which is really what the entrepreneur is trying to accomplish. We don't want to go in and just have a single business that everything goes in it, because nothing fits a one-size-all approach. It's just not that way. But in today's market, you cannot have the types of concepts that were going on for a long time, because the environment that we work in is now so different. And it's just like when I go back to 2010, 2009, and I started the concept of virtualizing my business. I had a partner at the time, and I said, I refuse to run my business where I have to have my servers in my own environment. I have to buy really expensive software. I want to rent it. I want to virtualize it. I don't want it in my business. I want to be able to move my business across the country if I want to, and nobody needs to know it's any different except for the address that they might send, something to me. Other than that, I don't want that overhead. Now, because of COVID, much of all of our businesses, and we're starting to settle back down a little bit, but many of our businesses have been permanently and indelibly inked with the concept of you cannot just force people to be in your business every day. And there are a lot of things that are happening out there, and we really, as entrepreneurs, need to keep that focus first in mind. So all of this whole idea really leads me all the way back to the original virtualization of the business, making it so that you can work and do different things. We'll be talking about my new program over the next few days, just discussing some parts of it. I might be bringing in some interviews from people that are actually going through this process. One of them is my girlfriend. She started her own business because, like I said, COVID is changing things. She cannot wear the mask, and she can't work anywhere, and that's creating some issues. So what we want to do is we started the business. I worked with her. Luckily, Indiana is a great state for getting a business started quickly. We literally started the process at 10:30 in the morning and closed and opened up the bank account. So it can be done these days, but there's a lot of things that change, a lot of things you have to work with. I still have my board up, my whiteboard 2 feet by 3 feet. I still have my goals, but the difference now is I'm not looking at $10,000 a month. You're looking at $120,000. I'm looking at how do we scale this process so we can truly and completely and indelibly put $1 million as this is what came in through our business. I'm not going to make all of that, but guess what? I see a lot of people that have gone through and they are doing it. They are making $1 million. And I believe that it's possible to be able to do that as well. So starting tomorrow, which is Monday, we'll be doing a Monday-Thursday release of this particular podcast, the Budding Entrepreneur Podcast. We're going to be trying to keep it expanded out to maybe 45 minutes to an hour, bringing new material in. And that's one of the advantages of going to it twice a week, is I do have time to bring things in that from other places and bring in people and get their ideas. And so we're going to try an expanded format and see how that works. But in the meantime, thanks so much for your time. I'm looking forward to this 2.0 release of the Budding Entrepreneur to really make this podcast worthwhile for everybody that is trying to start a business, that has started a business, and those who are running into lots of obstacles, right? So we'll be talking about that in the coming days. Meanwhile, we'll come back at this tomorrow. Thanks so much. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.